Thanks for joining me. Boy, this is my friend, Ian Yates. For people who don't know who Ian Yates is, come on, tell us.
Yeah, I'm Ian Yates. I'm based in Liverpool. I'm married to Kate. We have 3 children. Jackson, who's just turned 6. Elijah, who's just turned 4. And Abaya, who's 1.5. Ooh. And she loves rain. When she's sad, we just stick rain on, and that makes her happy. So
I think that's good.
Yeah,
coming from a songwriter who's got loads of songs, you're taught.
That's her favourite song, mate.
I've known Ian for many years. Ian, I've known you for so many years, and you inspire passion in so many people. When we stand out, I'm sure you're one of the tallest worship leaders
possibly
in the UK. But man, what comes out of you is something so profound, and you've moved me with your songs. I've enjoyed writing with you. But Ian, you're based in a church in Liverpool.
Yep.
And it's
Bootle Elim Church.
Right, and you've got a special relationship with that,
I've been there since I was 7.
My Lord.
Yeah.
Why were you there from 7?
We were actually born in Birmingham, though.
What?
I know, you wouldn't know. I got the Scouse accent. Is that good or bad? I'll leave that up to people. My dad still got his Birmingham accent, though. He's full on Brum.
Okay.
So he moved when I was 7 to Liverpool.
I can imagine him right in the middle of Liverpool preaching with a Brummy accent. Ooh. But yeah, I mean, Ian, man, I love you so much. I was ministering with you. We were doing this amazing event in Liverpool, and for lunch you said, "Come on, I'm taking you somewhere."
Yeah, man.
And obviously, those who don't know, I support Liverpool. I know. Ian takes me on a tour of Liverpool, the football ground. I get to see the ins and outs, the dressing rooms, and I thought that was better than the conference. No, I shouldn't say that. But he's an Evertonian, so
sacrifice, mate. Sacrifice for you.
Sacrifice. But Ian, one of the things that you're well known for, and this is me. You're so well known for the songs you write that really bring us to a place of intimacy, and passion. Where does that come from?
I think part of my journey has always been kind of, I guess, later years, like when I was a teenager and kind of early 20s, really just going after God and having this passion and experiencing Him in a real profound way. And I think once you've been touched by God in a special way, I think you're never the same. And for me, I guess I just wanted more of that. I just wanted more of that intimacy, that one-to-one connection. And yeah, it took me on a journey and kind of wrote a few songs about that. And then I had this incredible, profound moment at a crazy, wacky conference, to be honest. But I really felt God said to me, everything you've been longing for, you've already got.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. And that just changed my life.
I love that word you've used, longing. Because you seem to have a way with words, and you just pronounced it. I'm not sure if it's a Scouse accent or what, but you just said it, and it began to trigger something in me. And there's a sense when you sing and you lead, Ian, the people you engage, it brings a longing in them. Is this something to do with what we call the broken place? I don't know. Is this?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely with me. Yeah, lots of different broken places over the years and highs and lows. Yeah.
I mean, I use the word longing and broken place, and I'm kind of tease something out of you because the profundity of your songs, in the simplicity that you write them, it does that. I don't know why. For me, I'm standing on stage with you and you begin to sing, and it's like I'm caught up in that place. You draw something out. Many worship leaders would love to be able to do that. Is there something that's happened that you would go, wow, no, this happened, and it really just took me into that place where
Yeah.
I mean, is it a technical thing? Do you see people and then you just go like that? Or how does it work? What's the process?
I think I've had lots of moments, I think, in my life and Kate I'm married to in our lives where we've hit them broken places, and when you're in them, you come to the end of yourself and you're like, okay, there's only one place. There's only one place to go, isn't it? And I think every time we've gone through, a real difficult time. And myself, in the past, I went through a broken marriage when I was 19, 20. And, at those times, like, they change your life forever. And, I remember a distinct moment in that time thinking I could throw myself into the world and go and get drunk or whatever, or I can throw myself into God. And I knew that's all I wanted to do. And he's never failed me, no, never, and even though I'm just quite emotional, actually, just thinking about it.
It's cool because we're dealing with loss, we're dealing with the broken places. I myself, we've got similar stories in that. And as a worshiper, because people see you up there, we know we sing the songs of joy.
Yeah.
But yet still, as much as we're leading people, we're also on this journey. And if there was a scripture, I'd say, David goes, though I walk through the valley. I mean, what does that mean to you,
Yeah, it's I think, what I've learned is actually it's great to be on the mountaintop. It's happy, it's joyful, but actually I think you grow in the valley. I think in them low moments, in those like Jonah, belly of the beast moments in our lives, in the abyss, I think like God's still there. And like, I think we grow more in them situations. For me, I've just found God like more intimate and experiencing him at such a deeper level through those low moments, through the suffering, through the pain. And I think it shaped who I am. And I guess when you've got nothing left, when you come to the end of yourself, and then you actually kind of, I guess, come to a new place, which is incredible, really.
End of yourself is a new place.
Yeah, it's like a new level of life. And you're like, okay, maybe I had to come to this place to grow, to actually grow on my journey. So, yeah, man.
I think one of the profound things is that most people who know Ian, it's like, there's a side of him, we know this side, but we also know Ian walks in the room and he lights it up and he's smiling and there's a joke or there's something that he says but yet still we know there's this deep depth thing and I would describe you as a really tall tree, but the tallest trees have the deepest roots and you're tapping into that. What's your songwriting process?
Oh man,
because you were like, man,
it's changed a lot. I think like the recent album I did, Mystery, I wrote 130 songs for that album. So, yeah.
Are you hearing me, people? Can you say that again?
I wrote 130 songs. Just whether that means I'm crazy or what, I don't know. But yeah, and so some of them just start from just writing. I've been trying to write, something every day, and that was something I've tried to do over the last few years because I think melodies and it's great. But actually, like, I want my songs to be profound. I want them to, when people listen to them, it touches them. I want them to be real. I want them to be authentic, Noel. And so I've really tried to dig into that as a songwriter, really dig deep. So I've been doing a lot of writing, kind of just writing out lyrics and putting it together. But yeah, sometimes I get my guitar and just worship and see what happens. Sometimes I create a vibe in Pro Tools and, maybe it's got a full beat and a whole track and then sing over it, and then a lot of the time co-writing as well, which has been super fun over the last few years. And
you're most certainly one of the writers, right, Ian, that you write a song that that the nation sings, and whether I'm prophesying into that, but I think that the whole church is singing your songs because they're experiencing something of that touch of God. What do you think is the soundtrack that's coming out of the church in this season?
That's a hard question. I think like authenticity is huge. I think like an authentic sound is something that's real. Like, I think, I don't know, personally, we're living in a lot of tension. And I've been really trying on my journey to embrace the mystery, embrace the tension that we're in. And, all these big questions that we got, why does this happen? Why does that happen? Why can't they have kids? Why did this person die of cancer? All these huge questions that we have. And sometimes we don't, this side of heaven, we may never know, the answers to that. And I think that vulnerability and honesty, I think people want to hear that. I think people want to sing that as well. And I think, and we love all that, the joyful stuff and,
absolutely,
and yeah.
This is why I love what you do.
Yeah.
You wrote this amazing song called, we did this amazing event in in Liverpool in the rugby club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you brought this song Authentic Church.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you began to unpack what an authentic church should look like. And one of the things that you used about compassion and to the dying world. And what is happening in that area of the world, the Merseyside, apart from Liverpool winning you know, the championship.
Absolutely.
I know they can cut that out for another show, but don't worry about that for the repeat. But, you know, what do you think is the voice that's rising up from the soil? Is there despair? Is there people going, whoa, you know?
I don't know. What we've seen in our church is a lot of refugees and asylum seekers coming in.
Wow.
And we have a project at church that we're working with the Red Cross and different organisations. And I'm not massively involved in it, but then get to socialise with the people. And that's changed our church dynamic massively. And it's been very powerful now. Like there was one family who've come over and their story's horrendous, and they invited us to their house and walked in and there's nothing in the living room. I've never experienced that before, and I was like, wow. And then they take us through to the next room and the best meal you've ever seen, the biggest meal you've ever seen. And they're like, this is for you. And you're just like, wow, what do I even, what do I do with this, And so for us, it's been a massive blessing to our church, and people who have had incredible careers and incredible jobs, back in their country, they've come here with nothing, and they haven't got a job, and that kind of that changes a lot of the dynamics. So yeah, that's kind of our experience at the moment, which has totally changed church, because on a Sunday, a lot of people can't even speak English yet, or sing in English. So
and this is one of the things why it makes you such an amazing writer, is that you observe stuff that many people just miss. It's like, whoa, but you're able to give voice to that place. And I think that's such a special gift, Do you think that worshippers, and you're writing songs, and you're in Liverpool, but you're writing songs that travel the whole country through the movement, Elim Sound, and the thing for me is that, what do you think? Do you think songwriters should be writing songs that are coming out of where they are?
Yeah, I guess everyone's different, aren't they? But I think with our Elim Sound project, we want to write songs from the Elim movement for the Elim movement. Absolutely. If they go outside, great, but our heart is for the Elim movement. And we want to know what's God saying to the Elim people, and if that influence is wide, they're fantastic, but that's really our heart. And I think there's something special about a local sound, isn't it, and a local voice. And especially Liverpool being a great, the history of Liverpool sound.
Liverpool accent.
I think local areas, local sounds is special.
And we have to kind of define sound, because sometimes people think sound is the musical instrumentation, but actually, you hear me talk about it. I always say sound is revelation.
It's good.
Well, revelation is what narrates or tales of sound. Tell me something, right? The song that you're going to sing, it is absolutely beautiful, and it's just an affirmation. It's called "Loved by You." What is the revelation behind that?
Yeah, probably when I had our first son, I think knowing God's love up to that point was pretty special. But then holding the baby in my arms, and just this profound love for this little guy who's doing nothing apart from just lying in my arms. And I've just got this incredible, profound love for him. I'd do anything for him. And I guess that kind of took me on a bit more of a journey of God's love for us. If I love him, if I love my kids that much, how much more does he love me?
Wow.
Just message it up every time. So, and I think as well, I think in life, there's big questions, stuff happens, people's lives change, people, seen recently, what's happening. And we can get lost in all the mystery, all the big things, all the questions. But I think sometimes we've got to go back to that basic simplicity, and, God loves us and he's good. And I think we can forget that. We can get so caught up in, all the big stuff, all the questions, in what we do, the events, the conferences, which is great, all amazing stuff. But that's the basics. And this song, I was challenged by a guy called Malcolm Duncan.
Yeah.
He's an incredible guy and
Malcolm.
Great thinker, man.
Yeah,
wow.
great thinker.
And he was like, I want you to write songs that are really honest. And if I'm honest, to my shame, I've always kind of pushed away from that, because you kind of think, oh, should I be that honest in church? Should I say these things? And so with the first couple of verses in that moment, I just wrote down, asking God. Then we've all had them moments where we're asking God, are you there? Like, do you really care? And my testimony is every time I've asked them questions, he's come through. He's faithful.
I think that people are in for a treat, because, I want you to get yourself ready to share that song with us. Yeah. And, Loved by You. And right when you sing that song, I know God is going to be affirming people just right through the screens. Yeah. You're going to feel the affirmation of God's love in your heart today, folks. You're going to feel his touch. And I want you to, Ian, just get yourself ready to do that.
Cheers,
and, man, you're such a blessing to us. Thank you for watching today. We hope you enjoyed it. And do join us next week for more VOX Collective, the place where prophetic voices are released. Now Ian Yates will be playing us out with his song, Loved by You.